There are two terms we have used so far in our devotions that are worth defining or at least deepening our understanding of. Neither of them are particularly difficult or unfamiliar, yet their reality, meaning and implications are incredibly profound for the entire universe. The first is incarnation. This refers to the act of God taking on flesh in the Son of God, Jesus, becoming fully human. This doctrine of incarnation says that the Son of God, the second person of the Godhead, the Trinity, took on flesh and dwelt among us in the presence and person of Jesus of Nazareth. In John chapter 1 verse 14 it says the Word became flesh. The Word refers to the Son of eternity, who was with God in the beginning and is himself God. The Son of God has existed with the Father in perfect union, joy, love and harmony in the fellowship of the Trinity. Like the Father and the Spirit, he is Spirit. But that is until he took on our humanity. The Word became flesh in the form of a man at a particular point in time, in a particular place, to a particular people. He became a first century Jew. In his becoming, he didn't relinquish his goodness or cease to be God, as if that were even possible. Rather, he held his humanity and divinity in tension, these two natures in tension. In our theology, the divinity and humanity are not mutually exclusive in the Son. The Son didn't choose between being God or being man. He was both simultaneously. He was without ceasing God and man. This can get us tied up in knots, especially the term flesh. And this idea isn't just the physical, but every aspect of humanity. Body, mind, emotions, and will. Now this is crucial to Jesus' advent and subsequent life and death. In Hebrews 2 verse 17 it says, "For this reason he had to be made like them, fully human in every way, in order that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in service to God, and that he might make atonement for the sins of the people." He had to become like us in every way except for our fallen, sinful nature. Therefore, the incarnation was full humanity. It was united to the Son of God. Not only did he become like man, he actually became truly and fully human, the way God designed us to be in the beginning. That is the incarnation. And now we have unpacked it a little, although it may have been familiar to you from the beginning. This second term might not be, and that is the hypostatic union. Now don't panic, I know that sounds intimidating, but its meaning is much easier than it sounds. Hypostatic, our English adjective, is derived from the Greek hypostasis. This was used by the early church to essentially refer to the distinctiveness within the Trinity, and simplified further, persons or person. The hypostatic union or hypostatic is used to mean personal. Therefore, the hypostatic union is the personal union of Jesus' deity and humanity, or the two natures combine in one. One person, two natures. Believe it or not, this is far less complicated than explaining the Trinity. Jesus was not one half divine or one half human. He was completely fully God and completely and fully human. Now, I know that sounds like I'm asking you to fill one glass of water with 2 glassfuls of water, but the hypostatic union is the joining and this mysterious and crazy or improbable and seemingly impossible thing to get our heads around. These 2 natures are fully present and operational within Jesus' personhood and humanity. You might be asking, Glyn, why are you telling me this? Do I need to know these fancy terms? Now, my answer is no. The terms themselves are not essential, but understanding what they mean is infinitely important. These concepts in church history have been argued and fought for against heresy and compromise for, 2,000 years? And these concepts have inspired worship and praise for those 2,000 years. So knowing of them guards you from error. The knowledge and understanding and deep conviction of these things are infinitely sweet and awe-inspiring. To know that Jesus is both God and human, that he isn't divided. He is not one person split in 2. He is one person, one Christ. If he were, how could we possibly relate to him? In AD 451, the Chalcedonian Creed declares that his 2 natures are without confusion, without change, without division, and without separation. Jesus is one. This means Jesus is the sole focus of our worship. The famous American Puritan Jonathan Edwards famously reflected that in this one person, God-man, we find an admirable conjunction of diverse excellencies. An admirable conjunction, joining, a pleasing of divine excellencies, which we find in no other person, human or divine. David Mathis says, due to this hypostatic union, Jesus Christ unveils an unparalleled magnificence for us as humans. No one person satisfies the complex longings of the human heart like the God-man. God wired our human souls in such a way that eternal contentment cannot be found within mere humanity. Finitude cannot quench our thirst for the infinite. This is the grace of Advent. God gives us a point of contact at our first sight of a baby's eye. Although God was utterly glorious long before he became man in Jesus, an unincarnate deity would not be able to connect with us as profoundly and completely as the incarnate God Jesus. This one event, this one person truly came for us. Beyond mere gazing at his magnificence from afar at his advent and incarnation, we have in the Gospels the purpose of his advent. The God-man came for us. There is a personal dimension to this revelation that God can relate to us fully in our human experience. This revelation and truth should spring up within us inexpressible joy and thanksgiving. That the infinite, unstoppable, powerful, sovereign God came down for us and knows us and our experiences. That the person of Jesus was wholly both human and divine and in perfect union with the Father. This eternal Son of God, by his incarnation, has demonstrated his love for us in that while we were still sinners, he died for us. Jesus didn't just come and become man for kicks, or to show off and to show us that he could and then point the finger at us. He became man for us and for our salvation.